Gemini, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? What's good with you? Time for that weekly check-in, man. We're going to see what's happening with you guys in the first week of February 2026. So since it's a weekly check-in, it's just a short, quick, general, energetic overview. Any of you in need of a personal reading, all the information is in the description of this video. All right, let's see how these energies are looking between Gemini and the person they're dealing with. How's it looking? Anything good happening? Y'all gonna give me some rainbows and unicorns to read? Come on now. Almost, hang on. All right, there we go. All right. How these energies looking for Gemini? Man, Ten of Swords reversed. Okay. Huh. You know what? I don't know. This right here indicates to me that you're doing a lot of actual healing from this situation. But from what I've learned, most of the time when this energy comes through like this, you're doing more healing than you know. You may not realize how much healing you're doing. I've collected that just from talking to clients over the past 2 or 3 years. You may not realize you're healing. And I think the reason being is because when we think of healing, we think that, it's just supposed to start hurting less and less and less. And then eventually one day I wake up, it doesn't hurt no more. I forgot about it. I'm healed. That's not the way it works. True healing is a painful process. It's a very painful process. Not to dig all the way into this rabbit hole, but true healing really involves completely stripping your old beliefs and perceptions apart. And that's a very painful thing to do. You see a person for who they actually are rather than who you wanted them to be. You see the situation for what it actually was and not what you wanted it to be. Right? And to a certain degree, it can rearrange your whole identity to a certain degree. That's a painful thing to do. So Page of Pentacles reversed, Knight of Swords reversed, Knight of Wands reversed. You get where I'm going with this? Hangman. No movement. No movement, if anything, silent treatment, but no movement. Two of Wands. Knight of Pentacles reversed. Damn, all the knights, all the pages, all the movement. Ace of Cups reversed. No movement happening here, but I think this is a good thing. Kind of feeling like the universe is setting it up like this to give you the chance to heal. Now, make no mistake about it, healing isn't a death sentence to a connection. Healing, if you really think about it, healing scares people. When you tell people, focus on healing from this first, that kind of freaks them out. Somewhere deep down inside, people get scared. They're like, well, if I heal from this, well, it's over. Well, where do we get that idea? It doesn't have to be over just because you heal from it. You know where you get that idea from? Deep down in your soul, you know that the more healing you do, the less interested you become in revisiting what hurt you. Doesn't have to be, though. Let's see how this person feels about you. Person Gemini is dealing with, how they feel about you. Well, hey, look, wow. Same card, same placement, same position, different deck. Definitely giving you the silent treatment, but this is so hard to describe. This is somebody who is doing the best they can to ignore the truth, not think about it, bury it, stuff it away, and run from it. They're running from this. That's what they're doing. And, you know, honestly, when you see this type of energy, I just had a client on a Zoom call the other day talking about this same thing. And it every time. Now, I'm not allowed to spy on the details of somebody's life. But every single time I see this come through, it stems all the way back to childhood. And they've been doing this their whole life. Every time. I'm not digging in and spying. But that's what you end up finding out every time. That this has nothing to do with you. You're just one of the many, many, many layers in a trail of destruction this person has behind him. Right? It usually goes back to either a traumatic childhood or something like that. And then once they become a teenager, a young adult, they just don't know. They don't have any emotional intelligence. They don't really know how to form a genuine connection with anyone, really. So they burn every bridge. They burn one bridge, run to the next. Burn that bridge, run to the next. Burn that bridge and run to the next. Burn that bridge and run to the next. And they're just running and running and running and running. Trying to escape themselves is what they're doing. And they're just leaving a trail of destruction behind them. So when it comes to how they feel about you, you're kind of mixed into this shit soup that they've created for themselves. Where, I mean, I don't even know how to describe that. They feel ashamed, obviously. You know, that's why they're running. They feel ashamed. They feel ashamed of themselves. They're running from themselves. You know? And this is, every single person that does this comes back to bite you at some point in your life. It does. It's going to come back, catch up to you eventually. Because at some point, sooner or later, you ain't going to have nowhere left to run. Ain't going to be nowhere to... There are no bridges left. You know? And that's when it gets dark. But we don't need to get... That's a different story for a different time. So yeah, this person's just kind of running from this, basically, you know? Way too afraid to approach you. You know? All right, well, let's get the advice, I guess. What's the advice for Gemini? Page of Wands. I can't stand it when that comes out in the advice, man. So, okay, first of all, you need to understand that you're dealing with somebody that's not mature enough for you. When somebody's not mature enough to play the role you need them to play, there is no potential. I'm not saying that they are or are not a good or a bad person. But when somebody's not mature enough, it doesn't matter what their intentions are. It doesn't matter if they have the best intentions in the world, right? You can't hire a 7-year-old to be a NASA scientist. It's not going to happen. No matter what their intentions are. You know what I'm saying? It's going to end up being a fucking mess. Anyway, just understand that. Don't play the little silent treatment game with them. With the 4 of Cups reversed. Don't do that. Don't respond to any indirect attempts to try to get your attention. Right? Don't. Okay, here's an example. If you see them post something that you suspect is directed towards you, don't you go post something indirectly directed towards them. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hold that space of, if you want to come talk to me like a grown adult, we can talk. If I was you, I wouldn't even pay attention to what they're doing. I wouldn't even do that. It has to get to a point eventually where you have to completely remove your focus from it. Because while you're focused on it, that keeps you locked into that vibration. While you're locked into that vibration, there's a whole other frequency. All these other experiences waiting for you that you can't tune into because you're too tuned into and focused on an old frequency. Maybe, I don't know. Usually this is where I will advise that you send somebody a closure message. Honestly, I'm not seeing anything here that supports that, though. And I can't figure out why. The only thing, if I was to give it an intuitive shot in the dark, it would be that if you do attempt any kind of contact for any reason, you'll end up getting sucked back into this again. And we're all going through a big collective shift in 2026. All of us are. Everybody. And the energetic pathway that you take is going to play a big role in how that process unfolds. For some people, it's going to be a miserable fucking hell. I mean, it's going to happen one way or the other. Every last one of us are going to pop out the other side of this. But if you're not actually doing what you can to pay attention to your energetic pathway to the best of your ability, we're all humans. None of us are perfect. None of us are going to be able to completely prepare ourselves for this shift that we're going through. But you can do your damnedest, and holding on to and clinging to any person, situation, or energy that held you down and is still holding you down is really going to make the transition we're going through very rough on you. Very much so. If I was you, I would do nothing but heal from this. Make sure that do this. Completely cut off. I'm not even looking at you. Block them if you have to. And make a plan in your mind. I'm going to reconnect with this person at some point in the distant future. Maybe later this year, early next year, sometime a ways away. And the next time I talk to this person, they're going to have to get to know me all over again. You ain't going to fucking know who you're talking to the next time you talk to me. I would dedicate all of 2026 to trying to accomplish that. You'll see. The things that happen as a result of that will make you look at this situation and just laugh. It'll make this situation seem so unimportant. The doors of opportunity that'll make themselves available to you. The person it turns you into. The types of people, situations, friends, jobs, opportunities that you'll attract into your life will make you look back at this situation and giggle. But if you did want to revisit this situation and do it successfully, now the chances are increased. You see what I'm saying? All right, we're going to shift gears now. I spent a little too much time on that. Let's see how things are looking generally for the singles. How are things looking generally for the singles? Anything new coming in? Anything old coming in? Anything good coming in? Anything bad coming in? Anything coming in at all? Ooh, Two of Wands. Seven of Pentacles. All right. Well, what I'm trying to figure out is this is somebody you currently know. I don't think so. I think that whoever this is you're connecting with, something really makes you want to push this person away at an arm's distance and be very careful with this situation. I can't figure out what yet. I don't know if you're intuitively picking up on something that's off about this situation, or if you're just tripping because you're not ready to date yet. I don't know. I don't know. It almost, I don't know, man. See, the Two of Wands is the card of being at a crossroads. Could take this path or this path, and I don't know which decision to make. So you have the Death card. Do I just end this connection and move on to the next? Or do I try to see if this could really go somewhere? I don't know. I don't know if it would be worth putting forth the work, the energy, the effort. I don't know. Okay, well, it's about all I can say about that. Feels like there's some codependency energy in there. I don't want to dig too deep into that, though. Let's see their feelings, energies, and intentions. Seven of Cups reversed. Hang on, hang on. So this person really has a lot of self-confidence, self-esteem issues, honestly. They don't really feel like they're good enough to have the kind of love that they really want. Yeah, I think that's what you're picking up on. I don't really honestly think they have bad intentions. I don't think so. You know me, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to fucking tell you. I don't think so. I really do not. But if anything, what I think it is that you're picking up on is their self-esteem issues, their self-confidence issues, their desperation on the inside, if that makes any sense. I mean, a person doesn't have to overtly radiate that energy for you to pick up on it. You know, even when somebody is hiding their serious self-confidence issues, if you're really good at picking up on energy, fake confidence, you'll see straight through that. I don't even think this person's really faking their confidence, but yeah, they don't have, and they have a lot of trust issues too. They do feel a rather strong feeling of soul recognition, and they're guarding their heart. See, that's the thing. That's what it all comes down to. When somebody has that low self-confidence, those insecurities, you know, they got their guard up. They're not really letting you in all the way. You can tell there's something going on in there. There's more going on than what meets the eye. You can tell that. You can feel it. You know, I don't think it comes from a bad place, though. I think it comes from a very lost, broken, and misguided place. So, yeah. Okay. Some of you dealing with a Capricorn. I also have Virgo, Leo. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. Let's get the advice with the next person Gemini is connecting with. What's the advice? What is the advice? Ooh, the Hierophant. Well, all I can really say here, and I got to be real careful how I say this. You are being tested. You are being tested. That's all I can say. How are you being tested? I don't know. Even if I did know, I still couldn't tell you. If I did, you would just get tested all over again. And if I told you the answers to that test, you'd get tested all over again. That's the way this life works, man. You will be tested and tested and tested and tested and tested and tested and tested until you pass it. Until you pass it. If you're not really at that place where you're ready to pass that test, you wouldn't be able to handle the blessings on the next frequency anyway, even if it was possible for you to receive blessings that don't vibrate at your frequency and magical fairy tale land. It doesn't work that way in this dimension. But you wouldn't be able to handle it anyways, you know? So you are being tested. Something, somehow, some way. And I don't know what it is. Usually, honestly, when you're being tested, it's usually a little bit deeper than you think. But that little voice that's eating away at you in the back of your mind that's telling you that something feels off, pay attention to that. Don't spend too much time spinning in circles trying to figure out what feels off. I know I already told you all this about a month ago. But it doesn't matter. When energy feels off about a person, listen to this very carefully. If there's only one thing you take from this video, take this with you. When energy feels off about a person, it's only one of three reasons. Either A, you're intuitively picking up on something that is off about that person. B, you're projecting your own shit onto them because you have healing you need to do. You're not even in a place where you're emotionally stable enough to connect with somebody, even if they have the best intentions in the world. You're just projecting. Or C, the two of you are such a vibrational mismatch that you're not even capable of connecting with them at a deep enough level to pick up what they're putting down, even if they have the best intentions in the world. Those are the three reasons why energy would feel off about a person. Which one of those is the best scenario? Which one of those scenarios is the best case scenario for you to be able to lay a solid foundation with somebody? None of them. None of them. None of them. So while you're sitting here driving yourself nuts, trying to figure out why this feels off, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's you or if it's me. If it's me, well, I'm just going to sabotage it anyways. Right? People come to me all the time and they'll ask me, what's this person's true intentions? Well, what if I told you that they have nothing but the best intentions in the world? They're honest, loyal, faithful. They want to be with you. They want to be with only you. What if I told you that? Then what? What comes after that? What comes after me telling you that? Is that going to fix the problem? No. It might make the problem even worse. It might make you feel good for a little bit. But let's rewind back to prior to you coming to me. You still weren't connected with them at a deep enough level to be able to pick up on their intentions. Me telling you what their intentions are isn't going to magically make that deep connection happen. So what you're going to do is you're going to take what I told you into that relationship, and you're going to be searching for evidence that supports what I told you. And if you're not connected deep enough, you're not going to find it. And it could start becoming frustrating. Well, I'm just going to trust the tarot reader because I trust the tarot reader, but I'm still not seeing what I would need to see that would tell me somebody has good intentions. So it's going to cause this internal mental battle, which will end up sabotaging it anyways. I'm telling you this. I'm not saying that getting a reading is bad. That's not what I'm saying. My goal as a reader is to help you figure out how to navigate these situations yourself. That's my ultimate end goal. I don't know how successful I am at that, but that's my calling. That's my spiritual mission, is to send you on your way armed with some knowledge and wisdom that'll help you be able to figure these things out yourself. That's my goal. That's what keeps me awake at night. Because that's what helps you. When a reader just simply answers your questions, that helps you about as much as your friend sitting next to you in class giving you the answers to the test. Doesn't really help you. It can give you a quick fix there for the moment, but Doesn't help you. And like I said, potentially could make things worse. That's why I say things like this. I want you to take that with you on your journey. So, all right, y'all, I feel like those were the messages that my Gemini family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I'll see you sometime between now and the rest